Hey, welcome back to the Sandwich Park Bench as we talk about things coming up with the Sandwich Park District and the community. We're hanging and chilling out with none other than Santa Claus himself, and we've been talking about the Sandwich Christmas coming up on December 7th, starting at 4:30, the large family event with the lighting of the tree, a visit with Santa, the cookies, the hot chocolate, the s'mores, the stories, and all the fun holiday events that go on during that event. We heard from Santa earlier that he's been doing this visiting sandwich for about 7 years. Obviously, he's been visiting sandwich longer than that on Christmas, but the actual sandwich event, about 7 years. What would you say, is there a moment or a memory that stands out more than others for you since you've been coming to Sandwich for this particular event?
I'm glad you asked that question, Mike, because there is. About 3 years ago, when they moved me from the gazebo lighting the light, moved me into where I was going to talk to the children, there was a long line of children, long. And I saw this little young girl being held by her mom, and I think it was her mom. And she was doing her darndest to look around other children, see if she could catch my eye. And every time she did, I could see this big smile. Well, I finally got up there, and her mother hands her to me and said, "This is Abby." Well, this is Abby. Abby had a disability, and it's a beautiful picture.
Yes.
And to try to explain this, every time that I would try to bend down to talk to Abby, I noticed Abby trying to reach up to me.
Okay.
And then finally, we hit heads. And look at that smile. And it made her day.
Okay.
This is the most memorable. I keep this hung in my workshop all the time. I love you, Abby.
Well, thank you. That's a very sweet story, and it's incredible what, you know, how the magic that you provide to children of all ages, you know, and you continually inspire us and make us believe every year. So thank you for that.
Well, never stop believing.
No.
Never stop
I know
believing.
I haven't. So one of the traditions for Christmas with you specifically is families leave out milk and cookies for you every night in probably every household. And I know, yes, and I know you have to eat it because people would feel bad if, like, why didn't he eat my cookies? Do you have a particular favorite kind of cookie that over others?
I love all cookies, you can tell. And the most popular cookie, or the cookie I find laid out most for me, is chocolate chip. But don't tell Mrs. Claus, I like sugar cookies.
Oh, okay. So you're here to hear it first, folks. Santa
Sugar
likes sugar
cookies.
cookies. So speaking of Mrs. Claus, not to be a spoiler, but what do you think you're going to get her for Christmas this year?
Well, if I say that on TV,
How about this? What'd you get her last year?
peppermint sticks
Okay.
and chocolate candy.
Okay.
That's almost always an easy, but I can't, she can't know what I'm going to get her this year.
I
It's got to be a
understand.
secret.
I understand. So tell us about the naughty and nice list. When I was growing up, if you were on the naughty list, you were getting coal in your stocking. Is that what still happens, or as times have changed and we've got more modern, is it more like you make their iPhones disappear? I mean, what do you do now?
That question is one that I wanted to answer today.
Okay.
I get a lot of letters from children, and I can tell, and they're afraid that they're on the naughty list. And that's interesting, because that tells me children know when they're naughty or nice. And for the most part, children are more often nice than they are naughty.
I would agree with that.
So, and sometimes you might be on the naughty list 3 times in a row, but you're on the nice list 7 times in a row. I weigh that out. And there's always an opportunity to come off the naughty list. If you know you've been naughty, and children, I know you know what it takes to be nice. Go find your mom, ask her if you can help with the dishes, help your brother, help your sister, do something nice, and you're off the naughty list.
So I think that's important. I'm glad you told us. And, you know, even when kids are naughty, my assumption is you still work with the parents and kids still get something.
Always. It's
Yeah.
easy to get off. One of the things that I tell people when I'm out walking around and they come up and say, I think I'm on the naughty list, I have them give their mom or dad, or mom and dad, a big hug in front of Santa and say, I love you. That, they're off the naughty list immediately.
So you've been represented in film, and as everybody knows me, I'm a huge film buff. Who's your favorite, what would you say is your favorite movie that depicts you? That kind of gets it as close as possible.
I like Elf. That's my favorite movie because I like to promote my elves.
Okay,
You know, Santa is a little bit larger than the elves.
sure.
And to have one of the elves that was as tall as the young man in Elves, my young elf, that's my favorite movie.
Okay, so that was played by Ed Asner.
Yes.
Was that particular, played you in that movie. So you felt he pretty much kind of got it close.
Yes, I think he
Okay.
had the warmth and the kindness and the love.
Okay. Okay, and my last question would be favorite holiday song.
Well, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. I mean, I'm in my
classic.
sleigh. It's the classic. It's
Yes.
the one I love the most. It's the one that the elves play the most.
Okay. All right, very good. Well, Santa, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy as you're ramping up for the holidays. We appreciate Santa's time. He'll be visiting us again at the Sandwich Christmas. And you can always find out more information about that if you visit the Park District's website, Facebook page, or your chamber's page as well. Santa, thank you. And don't forget, I'm always looking for Marvel action figures. So just putting in a plug.
I'm checking the list. I'm checking it twice.
Thank you.
You know you've been naughty or nice.
This is true. That's why I wanted to say another plug, because I'm worried. All right. Thank you, Santa. And we'll catch you guys very soon.